This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau.
And off we go. Welcome. Glad to have you with us for another Farm Monitor, the only place to get your weekly fix on Georgia agriculture. If you are new to the show, I am Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Jennifer Parson. All that hard work ready to be showcased for your viewing pleasure straight ahead. From disaster to delight, after last year's freeze, Georgia's peach crop is bouncing back big time. Join us at Pearson Farms to see the difference an ideal spring can make. Also on the program, how Wesleyan College's equestrian program not only produces top quality riders, but also offers every student a chance to saddle up. Plus,
well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick coming up a little bit later. You know, when you think about agricultural education in Georgia, you probably think middle and high school. You may not think elementary school, and we're talking with elementary schoolers this month about what they're learning in agricultural education. And Stoney and I here are going to be used as an ambassador of all those messages. That and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
This year's peach crop is crucial for Georgia growers, especially after losing over 90% of last year's yield to icy temps. With harvest season now underway, Damon Jones visited Pearson Farms in Peach County for an update.
What a difference a year makes. After seeing orchards full of damaged peaches in 2023 due to a late freeze, it is the complete opposite this time around, as there will be plenty of fruit to harvest in 2024 after Mother Nature served up an ideal spring for growers.
That was nice to go through a spring where we didn't really have to crank up the wind machines, and we weren't running around burning hay bales and a lot of stuff that doesn't make a lot of difference, but we think we're helping. But this year it was a good kind of spring that you would like to order up if you could.
We normally expect some damage from cold, and so normally an 80% crop, 80% of full bloom and full crop in every orchard is usually a full crop. This year we had pretty much a full crop across the board. I've seen peaches in places I've never seen peaches before.
Those favorable conditions were a continuation from the winter months, which saw the crop receive more than an adequate number of chill hours. In fact, the growing season was optimal enough to serve as a gauge for the future.
This year is a barometer for us that with the no frost and a good winter and such, if we have a problem with a peach variety this year, we need to think about not planting it.
That isn't to say the weather was perfect, as there are always issues to deal with throughout the year.
We've had another wet year so far. It's dried off recently, but we've had a really wet year. I think we're 30-something inches of rain already for the year, so we've had a really wet year. And when you're growing a crop that's perishable like a peach and has a bunch of diseases, moisture is one thing that feeds a disease. If you've got a crop that the disease attacks, and you have plenty of moisture, if you can't protect that fruit, then you can have some issues.
Despite that, it is expected to be a bumper crop, which does create some complications when preparing orchards for harvest.
That just made it for a lot tougher, a lot harder job to go in there and prune and then come back and subsequently thin. Once we knew, hey, we've got a crop, now we got to get it thin so we can have, we can size them up and have good quality peaches. I mean, it was tough to get. You've only got so many people you plan for the year that you've got coming to work, and those guys have to be able to get around to the whole farm. And this year, they actually had to go to the whole farm to try and thin peaches because there were peaches everywhere.
However, you won't find any growers complaining about a big crop, as they are excited to get their fruit out to consumers in the coming months.
It's dry right now, hot and dry, but that makes peaches taste real good, and so that's a good thing. And we know that the fruit that we deliver is going to ripen well for the customer and be a good thing to eat.
Reporting from Fort Valley, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
For over 20 years, the equestrian program at Wesleyan College has thrived, going as far as sending riders to nationals year after year. But their true success starts on campus, making sure anyone who wants to ride gets the chance. Our John Holcomb explains.
Here in Macon at Wesleyan College, these girls can often be found at the Equestrian Center, prepping, training, and working with their horses. The program, which has seen great success over the years, is one that continues to grow in popularity and stand out, as Wesleyan is one of 10 all-women's colleges in the nation to have an equestrian program.
The equestrian program is something that makes us very, very distinct. Young girls can come to Wesleyan, can bring their horses and board them here. And it's a program that if you've never been on a horse or you're quite serious about equestrian, we've got something for everybody. We've had a lot of good success, including last year. We sent 2 individuals to nationals in North Carolina, and I'm thrilled to announce that this year we're sending 3. April 24th in North Carolina will be competing in the nationals. So we've had great placements, great standing, and we're going to continue that tradition.
What's unique about their program is that regardless of experience or background, any student at Wesleyan is welcome to become an equestrian rider and competitor.
We're really proud that no matter what your experience level is with horses, you're welcomed into this program. You know, you hear about teaching hospitals in schools. Well, this is a teaching equestrian center. So you can learn how to groom a horse. You can learn how to walk with a horse and then in fact get up and jump on a horse. And we have that progression all the way along. And so whether it's your very first time or you're a seasoned expert and you've been riding your whole life, there's something for everybody here.
Horses are expensive, very expensive, and the cheapest part is buying the horse. So there's a lot of girls, and myself included, that whenever we were younger, we didn't have the horses, we didn't have the experience, we didn't have the money. So now when you come to college, you can say, hey, I now can be a part of this, I want to do something with horses. Now I can take these girls and they can come from no experience at all, and they can say, hey, you know, we want to show. So I could take them from absolutely nothing and build them into something spectacular.
Of course, with a program like this one, it no doubt takes a lot of hard work to get the girls saddle and season ready, which is why Kenkowski gives lessons, schedules practices, and even makes them strength train each week to make sure they're prepared in the arena.
Usually whenever we start back up, we start with at least once a week lessons, bare minimum, and then I'm starting in the fall doing at least once a week. So we're doing once a week riding lessons and once a week gym sessions, so that way we're all held accountable for our horses.
According to Blight, the most important aspect of the program is the impact, as she believes their equestrian program helps build character and responsibility.
It builds certain discipline and responsibilities. I mean, there's so many proven important opportunities for young women to engage with animals that create stress relief, bonding, and just that responsibility of taking care of something beyond yourself.
Reporting in Macon for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Well, everybody, Ranger Nick, coming up after the break, I'm hanging out with some elementary school students. We're learning about how they're growing food for pet animals like my buddy here and how it's being integrated into their classroom after the break.
Brian Keeper is an associate professor in the Department of Poultry Science at the UGA College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, where he teaches the highly popular course Effects of Global Agriculture on World Culture. This core course in the UGA curriculum, the largest at CAES, exposes more than 350 undergraduate students each semester to the role agriculture plays in our everyday lives. Keeper joined UGA in 1998 as a research engineer in the CAES Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering. In 2005, he accepted his first teaching assignment as co-instructor of wastewater treatment unit operations. Since that initial teaching assignment almost 20 years ago, UGA undergraduate students have earned more than 15,000 credit hours in his courses, including introductory poultry science, poultry processing, and numerous freshman Odyssey seminars. As a state specialist with UGA Cooperative Extension, Keeper is the author of the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association's Poultry Wastewater Treatment Operators Training Manual, which has been used to train and certify more than 300 poultry processing wastewater treatment operators in 10 states. At the 2018 International Poultry Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, Keeper was one of 4 U.S. poultry industry leaders selected for the U.S. Poultry Lamplighter Award for sustained and exemplary service to the poultry and egg industry. Congratulations to Brian Keeper, winner of the 2023 D.W. Brooks Award for Excellence in Teaching.
As an Associate Dean of the UGA Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources, he is known for his expertise and leadership in the field. But Ranger Nick's influence extends far beyond the campus of Georgia. He's also making a significant impact in middle schools, high schools, and among ag teachers across the state, with our Ranger Nick segments becoming an integral part of their lesson plans. Before the start of summer break, Nick wanted to give back and spotlight the amazing program that introduces young elementary students to the fascinating world of agriculture, showing them just how cool it can be to get involved in this vital industry.
Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. All right, so I think about agricultural education, and immediately in my mind, I go to welding, wood shop, all the wonderful career development skills that high schoolers and middle schoolers are learning in the classroom. I don't immediately think about first and second graders, but I'm going to tell you somebody who is leading the way in elementary agricultural education in Georgia, and that's Dr. Jason Peak. Hey, Doc, give you a wing.
Hey, thanks, Ranger Nick. Yeah, in 2018, we started formal elementary agricultural education in the state of Georgia. Now, Lauren Goebel with Farm Bureau has been doing ag in the classroom for years. That's been a well-established program. But now, since 2018, we have it formalized through the Department of Education. We have state standards. We have elementary agricultural education teachers dedicated to this in the schools. And of course, we're not looking at heavy machinery. It's not shop class. It's things like Stony here, an elementary ag ed chicken, where we can teach students, we can start to introduce them to production animals, but fortunately for Stony, we focus on egg production. Meat production just wouldn't be age appropriate at this level, so she's got a good life ahead of her.
Well, and think about this bird as an ambassador for these messages. Think about building citizenry in those students and leadership in those students and caring for animals in those students. That's what's so incredible. And you know, Georgia's leading the way in that. So you and your team are now have other states adopting this model, right?
We do, yeah. There's 5 additional states who followed suit after Georgia. Missouri, Texas, Arkansas, and Florida have programs up and running now modeling after Georgia, and we're partnered with them. And Mississippi is coming along with their program. So we're on our way with it. And when it comes to the citizenship and leadership, a lot of people think FFA because you hear school ag ed, you think FFA. But at the elementary level, there's already a great program in place in the state of Georgia. Georgia Extension has a 4-H program already designed for elementary school students, so we went straight with that.
That's great, and building on to that model. Well, what I want to do now is check out a first grader that I want to introduce to you and learn how that individual is being incorporated with agricultural education in the first grade classroom. So let's go over there now. All right, so I'm thinking ahead about the future, and I'm thinking about my succession plan. Who's going to take over for Ranger Nick when I retire? Well, let me introduce you to a guy that shares my last name and that I think has more passion and enthusiasm than me, and that's Miles Furman, my son. Hey, bud. So Miles is a student here at the primary school and in Miss Stanton's class, best teacher ever. And Miles, in Miss Stanton's class, we are standing in a garden just outside of the classroom that I understand you all are doing agricultural education in the class. And what are you doing involving this garden? What is here that you're studying?
So we planted some of this common milkweed right here, and then here and here we have some swamp milkweed.
Swamp milkweed, common milkweed, okay.
And then over here we have some lantana over here.
Okay. And those things, you're not just planting them for any reason, you're planting them for what?
To help monarchs.
Oh, monarch butterflies. So you want to get them to come here, and then what do you study them?
Yes, we raised some, we washed them, and we let them go, and it was fun. It was fun.
So you let these monarch butterflies go back out into the environment, you studied them, you watched them hatch. This is incredible, and you're pretty excited about science, right?
Yes.
All right, so let me introduce you to a few folks here. Jane, after Jane Goodall, famous for all the work being done with gorillas all over the world. Jessica Boone, PhD student in the Agricultural Leadership, Education, and Communication Department at UGA. And Jess, I gotta talk to you. So if I'm a first grader, and here I am with Miss Jane here, cute little guinea pig, and we're sitting in front of this beautiful garden, if I'm a first grader and you're a former elementary school teacher as well,
yes, sir.
What would you do to incorporate Jane and what's growing here?
Great question. So I know when I was a kid, this definitely was not what my elementary school classroom looked like. When we have our friend Jane right here, and we have all these great leafy greens, such as broccoli and kale and just lettuce, but think about what does Jane like to eat? It's the leafy greens. So not only are we planting these greens and being able to grow them and working through that process with students, but also we're able to feed our class pet.
And just imagine the responsibility kinds of skills that students are learning by taking care of Jane and all the things that come with that, and being able to harvest things and watch them eat and all that. I mean, it's just incredible, you know, where we're going in Georgia with this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. So just think about the power of a student taking a seed and caring for that seed and then harvesting that product and making a delicious meal or a salad, and that pride that comes, and even the respect for farmers and agriculture in general of that tiring, long process.
Leading the way nationally. That's incredible. Jess, thank you so much for today. Jane is starting to nibble on my finger, so I think that's time to wrap it up. Y'all, you know what to do. Hop online and check out more about elementary agricultural education here in Georgia. While you're online, check out the Ranger Nick Facebook page. We've been doing some Facebook Lives every Wednesday. You can check me out, learn about some birds. And until next time, for the Farm Monitor, as I always say, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you right back here again next month. See ya. Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious.
Up next, you're going to meet a Georgia peanut farmer who's been innovating his family's farm for over 60 years. How strip till and cover crops revolutionized his operation.
"50 years ago, farmers didn't have much of a choice but to apply their inputs in a uniform way across each field. The same amount of pesticides, the same amount of fertilizer, and so on. They were limited by the equipment of their time. Today's farmers, however, have an advantage. They have access to technology and equipment that can vary the amount of inputs applied to their land. The ability to vary inputs is essential for efficient crop production because different parts of a field have different needs. This is one of the primary goals of precision farming, matching the application of inputs to the soil. Precision farming technology can work both to the farmer's and the environment's benefit, but only if the farmer has a solid understanding of his or her field and can transfer that knowledge to their machinery. One way this is achieved is by identifying areas called management zones.
A management zone can break that field into smaller portions to then help the farmer manage those similar soils and similar areas of the field in a way that really optimizes the productivity of that crop.
Unfortunately, creating these management zones is more complex than it sounds. There are a multitude of factors that play into the composition of a soil. Farmers need two things. One, they need tools to quickly measure variations in soil properties. And two, they need methods to help them pinpoint exactly which areas of the field are most alike.
In the early 2000s, the research team within the Cropping Systems and Water Quality Research Group worked together to create a software package that helps us to create management zones. That software is called Management Zone Analyst.
Management Zone Analyst, or MZA, allows farmers to input recent soil and crop information. Then the software mathematically identifies like areas for zone creation.
The idea is that we can take a field and give it whatever inputs we need, whether it be topography, slope, curvature, whether it be soil measurements, soil conductivity, texture, whatever we want to put into it, it will take the field and divide it into homogeneous regions.
The software also helps farmers and crop consultants determine the optimal number of management zones for a given field. MZA was made free to the public so all producers have the opportunity to benefit from it. Researchers, farmers, commodity organization representatives, and agricultural consultants from more than 39 states and 35 countries have used MZA in managing their crops.
I think MZA has had a pretty strong impact, not only with farmers, but also with educating the next generation. There's a lot of use of MZA, not only by farmers and consultants, but by agriculture programs around the country and even around the world.
Along with MZA, the research group's pioneering work on management zones has been integrated into many facets of the crop industry over the years, leading to more efficient farming worldwide.
Well, the Georgia poultry community is mourning the loss of a true pioneer in the industry, and that's Abbott Massey, who passed away on June 14th after a short battle with cancer. Massey, former president of the Georgia Poultry Federation, was instrumental in shaping the state's poultry industry into a national leader. His tireless advocacy and innovation helped elevate Georgia to the top poultry producing state. Abbott Massey was 96 years old.
Finally this week, meet a farmer who knew his destiny was in the soil from a young age. With a passion for farming, he's dedicated 60+ years to producing some of Georgia's finest crops. Who is this seasoned farmer? Take a look.
My name is Billy Sinkbill. I'm a peanut farmer in Georgia, Worth County. I started back in 1961. I guess growing up, I always had my eyes set on being a farmer. My granddaddy was a farmer, my daddy was a farmer, and now I'm a farmer. And now farming's a lot different now than what it was when my granddaddy and my daddy farmed. One of the biggest changes I've seen in agriculture as far as on my farm was about 20 years ago, I started a strip till and cover crop and trying to preserve and save our soil. It's not for everybody. It's a sort of a niche way of farming, but it's really changed my farming operation, made it much easier for me to farm by not having to do conventional tillage. And some of the main issues in farming today is weather, and we can't do anything about weather. It can be too wet, it can be too dry, it can be too hot, it can be too cold. I do not irrigate. I'm a dryland farmer, and I always said that prayer is better than pivots, and that's the way I've been living for the last few years is like that. That's my motto. I love most everything about farming. It's a lifestyle. You just can sort of be free as a bird. You just, but you still have to be, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, so to speak. Planting time, harvest time, spray time. You got to know that you got to be on your P's and Q's to get everything done like it should do to be a successful farmer.
Our thanks to the Georgia Peanut Commission for that. Before we go, friendly reminder that for all the latest ag news regarding food, recipes, and what's happening on Georgia farms, be sure you check out all of our social media platforms, including farm-monitor.com.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Stay safe and have a great week.